What's up, everybody? It is Kid Smooth, and this actually should be an apples and oranges video. But I couldn't find my settings for apples and oranges. But I'm gonna do a video really quick because, oh man, Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef. I think the battle is over. I have clearly an unpopular opinion. Now, both these people I respect musically. Drake, I followed his entire career. Kendrick Lamar, I like a lot because I prefer West Coast artists I prefer West Coast rap. Biggest Tupac fan in the world. If I have a channel, a secondary channel dedicated to Tupac content. I haven't done anything with it in a while, but people know if they want to go, it's there, apples and oranges. So Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, and I'm gonna just give it to you guys like this. I don't really care what anybody thinks. To me, Drake won, and he won for a couple of reasons. Now, one, Kendrick obviously started with the whole, like that, and he's been trolling Drake for some years now, and vice versa or whatever. So like that, it came out, got people talking. J. Cole, went and did his thing, and then he kind of immediately backed out. Drake was for the smoke, and he did push-ups. Now, push-up, to me, in my opinion, as far as a song, was just as good as Back to Back. And at the time, it wasn't just Kendrick, attacking Drake. There's Future, there's Metro, all these other people, all these other new generation rappers that are just kind of trash. And Drake was on this against all odds and just went at everyone with push-ups. Drake then followed up maybe 2-3 days later and did a tailor-made freestyle, which Kendrick's fans and got Drake to take it down, and the Tupac estate threatened to sue because it was he rapped a verse with AI Tupac filter, pretty much addressing Kendrick like, yo, we waiting for you. He did the same thing with Snoop. Thought it was very creative, even though I don't respect AI, and I don't respect AI into the terms of how people use it. Like, there's these local rappers that want to pretend that Drake got a new song, or J. Cole, or Tupac. There's a whole bunch of Tupac AI content that's out there. It drives me nuts. This one, I understood where it came from, and if rappers like Game and 50 Cent had access to this years ago, they would have executed it just as well. So, but anyway, so people, got really sensitive on that one, and he had to take that one down. Kendrick finally comes out with Euphoria. I didn't care for Euphoria like that. I thought it was boring, very dull. But people wanted to go psychoanalytical. Anything that Kendrick says is gold. But to me, Push-Ups was a better record than Euphoria. Now, this is where Kendrick muddied things up, because he after that, he just kept I feel like he was dropping a diss every day or every single day. I think he had 16 in LA, which again I thought was a very boring track. Very, very boring. Drake followed up with Family Matters, which to me was one of the best records. I think it's the best song out of that came out of these battles. But no one got the opportunity to digest, because smartly Kendrick Lamar put out Not Like Us, which is a club banger. It's a trending song. It's a good song, and he hit him with pretty much something Drake would hit someone with. Like, a back to back was like, you could, outside of a diss, you could play it in the club. It'll be a song that charts. So you had that happen, but like personally, I think it's a decent song, but I didn't really care for it, right? And then Drake followed up with that because he had to, because the Not Like Us is a trendy type song. Drake then followed up with his The Heart Part 6, which from a lyrical perspective, I think Drake did his thing. So when I look at and I'm sorry, there was I'm sorry, Meet the Grams happened right after Drake did Family Matters. Meet the Grams happened, and I didn't like Meet the Grams at all. I really didn't. That's when Kendrick, accuses Drake of having a 11-year-old daughter, and then he sticks with the pedophile angle and all this other stuff. Drake addresses all of those things in his The Heart Part 6, but he also sounds like he's kind of done with it. And the reason why I give Drake the victory, not because I thought Kendrick had like bad songs or bad discs. I found all the tracks boring, and people get mad at Drake, right? They criticizes Drake's songs for using the same angle, Woman Beater, and his baby mama having being impregnated by somebody else and stuff like that. Drake used that angle consistently. But Kendrick kept using the same angle too. Just he used it in different songs. So I was like, they're both was guilty of using the same angles, continue to use the same T. Hell, Kendrick's first diss was literally a replica of what Rick Ross and Pusha T's disses were. So it was like nothing new. So that's why I didn't understand why people were like felt Euphoria so much. It was like, what is he saying that's new? The other reason why I say Drake got it, because Kendrick had too much help. You know what I mean? For a rapper of Kendrick's stature, right? Like people like Rick Ross and all that other stuff. Like, if Kendrick is so good, he doesn't need all that, bro. Like I expected, Kendrick to go toe to toe. I expected Kendrick to win, but I did expect Drake to put up a fight, and I feel like that's what we got. And I technically feel like Drake won because this is what it took to for pretty much people to beat Drake, right? Because social media it's like cancel culture. Once the masses decides to cancel you, that's it, regardless of who you are, what you are. That's just it. It's just that herd, that sheep effect. Drake one is pretty much battling almost half the industry, right? And then he got Kendrick Lamar. Drake's been on top for so long. We're at a point where people just want to see someone beat him at something, right? So Kendrick Lamar is a formidable foe. He can rap, and he did his part to win, right? And I think Drake did his part to win. But the thing is, when you throw all these other rappers jumping in with their stuff, Rick Ross has been such a lame throughout this whole thing. And then some of the critiques of the disses started to annoy me a little bit, right? So I heard critiques of like, oh, Drake got to stop dissing other people. He only needs to focus on Kendrick Lamar. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, wait a minute, guys. If you guys saying this is like the biggest like battle ever, let's look at some of the best battles in history. When you go all the way back in time, when Ice Cube was dissing Dre, he wasn't just dissing Dre. He was dissing the entire NWA. He was doing Eazy-E, Dre. Everybody who was still under roof lifts got it. Even the manager, was it Jerry Heller? Got it. Right? When Tupac was going at Biggie, everybody say Tupac and Biggie, but Tupac was going after everybody and hit him up. Biggie, freaking Mobb Deep, Lil Kim, and then like throughout his whole tirade of disses, he had Jay-Z, Nas, and everyone, but everybody focused on Tupac and Biggie, but Tupac was actually at a lot of people's necks during that. But he wasn't just focused on Biggie, he was focused on a lot of people. Nas and Jay-Z. Nas didn't just focus on Jay-Z, though Jay-Z got the hardest of the bars. Nas went at who? He went out I think Cormega. He went at Mobb Deep also in Ether. He also went at all Rockefeller, Memphis Bleak, whomever. He went at everyone associated with Jay-Z or who he was beefing with, because he had internal beef with throughout Queens as well, that got it in ether. So my thing is, throughout history, some of the best rap songs didn't have just shots focusing on one target. Tupac's Hit 'Em Up had targets on multiple people. Tupac's Against All Odds had multiple targets. Nas's Ether had multiple targets. I think Jay-Z's Takeover might have had multiple targets as well. So that was a dumb critique that people were saying, oh, he need to focus only on Kendrick. Nah. Family Matters was a dope track, and he had tackled everybody who was sending shots at him. Push-Ups was a dope track, sending shots at everyone who was sending shots at him. And Kendrick in all those songs got the hardest bars from Drake, right? The other reason I say this is because a Drake one is because, like, again, we're in like the social media era, like, can pick any winner. You know what I mean? If we looking at like everybody's pretty much bigging up Kendrick Lamar, because everybody wants to see, Drake fall. They're sick of him being at the top, but Drake going against everybody. And then you got the Kendrick Lamar fans, and you got the Drake haters just collaborating, and they're all just determining that this is like a wash. I think this battle was a lot closer than people anticipated. Kendrick made a lot of moves that were like dope in terms of battle as far as timing. His timing was great, and he stuck with his angle. Drake usually is like a Mike Tyson, right? In terms of when he does his battle. His battle is like he's gonna give you like maybe one or two, and that's it. And that's usually good enough. Kendrick Lamar didn't let it get to that point, because once he got to respond, he had about like me four or five records out. My thing is those records, I didn't like any of them. I don't like any of them. I thought they were very corny. I think there's some that has highs. You know what I mean? I think the best one was the last one, but I think all of them were like very corny. I didn't care for the themes, and then the contents are all questionable, because you gotta the truth. If we're going with like, okay, it's okay to lie in some of these things, then this battle could have been easy. Drake could have said anything. As long as it sounded hot, he could have said anything, and it should have been good enough. But Kendrick Lamar took angles that are being challenged, and no one's giving it a chance. So they just want to claim a victor. But I think right now Drake is just a victim of his own like success, and people finally wanting to see him go down. It's like when 50 Cent was like king, and he finally got a new challenger that people could relate to, people like, and that was Kanye West, and that's who they used to take down 50. Kanye West wasn't a better rapper than 50, but I like Kanye's music more than I liked 50 back in 2007. Like I rocked with 50, but Kanye, I like the samples. I like the good uplifting, music. So it was easy for me to choose Kanye over 50. And they didn't have like real beef. It's just that they had a moment in hip hop that 50 musically hasn't been the same since. It's like with LeBron, right? People are trying to convince us that LeBron is the most underachieved superstar ever, despite him playing 21 years. So no one in their 21st years averaged more points, more assists, more rebounds, and more in games won than LeBron. LeBron's averaging at year 21 what he's been averaging damn near throughout his entire prime of his play. And we don't know if he's past his prime because he's still playing just as good as his prime. People want us to believe that LeBron is an underachiever, and he broke Kareem's scoring record, both playoff and NBA, a record that was held for nearly 40 years. People want to forget, like, this dude didn't just bring Three different teams to the NBA finals and win a championship with three different teams and been a finals MVP on three different teams. Like, what do you like? LeBron owns almost every record, but people have us, we want to bring him down because we're sick of him being good. We want to, obviously consider Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And now we're going to put like Jokic and Joker in front of him. We want to crown Anthony Edwards and next Michael Jordan. And we want to knock down LeBron despite all he's done. It's just hate. So in my opinion, Drake won this, not because he's a better rapper than Cole. When you look at it from a skill set, Drake shouldn't have been in the same room with Kendrick in terms of rapping, but I feel like his music that he made towards Kendrick was better than the music Kendrick did. Kendrick did a good job of capturing the zeitgeist, and we're at a time where Drake is just a person to hate, and when you got the masses hating on you and ready to bring you down, that's what's going on. So unfortunately, Drake and LeBron and all of these are dudes that are at this point where they kind of need to just gracefully walk away and then let us deal with the mediocrity we have in music and basketball today. But that's my take on it. I don't care what nobody says. It's my opinion. I'm a hip hop historian. I love rap. Again, my favorite rappers, you guys can easily know who my favorite rappers are. I don't shy away from it. I'm not a fan of music today. So this music, what was going on between them two kind of got me back to listening. But after this is done, I'm not listening to that garbage that we currently got from all these current like rappers. Complete trash. And I'm gonna say one thing: I don't really care for Kendrick Lamar. Like I was an early fan of Kendrick Lamar. His first couple albums, his mixtape to Section 80 and stuff like that. Love that. Love early Kendrick Lamar. I don't like when Hollywood, and same thing with Drake. Like I fell off of these guys because when Hollywood gets the best of them and consumes them, they start become freaking weirdos. Like Drake is like he's still good, but it's like his music doesn't hit the same for me. Kendrick Lamar, he's dressing up in like the crown of thorns and stuff like that. I find that disrespectful. I don't like it. I don't like that the media keep using that image. I don't care for it. And it's like, all right, to me, he's just a weirdo now. And that's where I stand with that. But in terms of this battle, I think it was Drake won because it was Drake against the world. He had to battle a bunch of people, and a lot of people rooting for him to fall and chiming in and adding their things. And it didn't seem like a battle that he had a chance of winning, no matter how good he did or how good the music was, how good the bars was. The deck was stacked against him, and everybody's gonna pick, Kendrick Lamar because that's what they want. And the thing is like, and I don't respect music charting because music is just based off streams now. So, and right now, the crazy thing is the top 10 is going to be a bunch of diss tracks between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick is winning a popularity battle right now. So I know my opinion is very unpopular, and I don't mind it being very unpopular. But I've always, usually end up taking the underdogs. But in a situation like this, again, I look at Kendrick Lamar and I'm like, why is people fighting so hard for Kendrick? Like, the dude's a skilled dude. Like, he can hold his own. He's a great rapper. But why people got to try to convince you so hard why he's better than Drake or beat Drake? I mean, something doesn't sound convincing to me. It doesn't sound convincing to me. People all over the internet trying to convince themselves why Kendrick Lamar is so great. But that's my my take on it. Between the tracks, if you guys want to give it a score between the two, I literally I got Drake. Honestly, I got Drake. I really like 3 records from Drake, which is Push Ups, Family Matters, and the last one. I really like the last one, but if you want to give him the L because it finally turned Drake to be defensive, then fair enough. But I got him up. I haven't. How many songs they released each? Was it 3 and 3, or 4 and 4? Push Up, Family Matters, Push Ups, Tailor Made, Family Matters, and The Heart Part 6 versus Euphoria, 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. I think Kendrick Lamar has one good song. I think Drake has 3. Drake 3-1. I don't care. That's my video. Peace.